We've gathered here to reflect, remember, celebrate, and most importantly, inspire our youth who are being groomed as the custodians of our environment.
World Environment Day is a day set aside to make a global call for action to safeguard our environment. This year, the spotlight is on the devastating effect of the illegal trade of wildlife. You may have heard on the local news about the passage of the Wildlife Management and Conservation Regulations in 2013. While these regulations focus on domestic use of wildlife, it has provisions for wildlife which are restricted from use or capture, for example, the jaguar. It should be noted that our country is also looking at strengthening and updating its legislation on wildlife trade and has submitted a wildlife bill to Parliament for approval. This is currently in the process of public review, and when approved, will establish a specific authority to manage Guyana's wildlife for both local use and export. More and more countries are entering into new agreements to protect wildlife, which involve the range countries, that's the countries where the wildlife are found, and countries which are end users of wildlife and its products.
But Guyana is a very special and unique country. But what is not well known, apart from what we see on television and on our computers and on our phones, is the global importance of Guyana's wildlife. Guyana is one of the world's most important countries for biodiversity conservation, boasting the highest biocapacity per capita in the world and one of the highest levels of biological diversity and concentration in any other part of the world. We are also part of the unique and unparalleled 1.7 billion years old Guyana Shield, which is a region that is home to over 3,000 wildlife species and shared with our neighbors Venezuela, Suriname, and Brazil, along with French Guyana and parts of Colombia. Unfortunately, I believe, and this is one of my personal views, that we have spent too much time digging it up and cutting it down, and far too little time in seeing its tremendous value as is and intact, and learning to live, utilize, and enjoy it in a sustainable manner. It is therefore our responsibility to ensure that there is responsible utilization of our resources so that current and future generations can enjoy the benefits derived from our wildlife. The Wildlife Division and the Environmental Protection Agency, under the purview of the Ministry of Natural Resources, have strived to ensure that the trade in wildlife is done in a sustainable and respectful manner. This year's theme, Fight Against the Illegal Trade in Wildlife, is instructive, since it places protection and management of wildlife in the hands of all stakeholders. Thus, observing this day is a timely reminder of our roles and responsibilities as key stakeholders, especially the role and responsibility of our youth. We must, I believe, strengthen and broaden the view that the wild flora and fauna, our plants and animals, are a part of our national patrimony, and accept that it is our patriotic duty and responsibility to ensure its protection, or their protection and sustainable use, a usage that will lend itself to a greener and more sustainable economy. Here, the role of youth is central, for it is in the rising generations that heightened awareness can most easily be achieved. Youth, an asset of society, can, in fact, I would say must, contribute its strength in environmental management. And I'm happy that we have in our schools environmental clubs and other groupings, and I'd like to say that the Ministry of Natural Resources, on behalf of the Government of Guyana, is pledging to give you more financial and other resources so that you can not just want to do, but in fact be able to do what it is you desire to do. So we look forward to working with you later into this year and into next year, into strengthening your clubs and ensuring that you evolve as good stewards of the patrimony of Guyana. You are, I believe, the backbone of the nation, who can change the future of the society with their well-being and courageous behavior. This is where you are important.